And so my question to that is yes, since its history, one of its principles or some of its principles have been to advocate, to agitate, and to inform. And so the Black press has long had the power to incite its readers or to inform and encourage its readers. And it would rally its readers around causes that were needed in order to gain civil liberties in this country. And so the right to vote and exercising the right to vote is in the Miami Times. It doesn't even have to be an election season. And if you look back at the microfilm, they were almost like a semi-organ of the NAACP. And so they would have published voting registration notices. They would publish the schedule of people who were going door to door, where they would be to register people. They would just encourage you to vote, those types of things. And so this was the communication tool that the community depended on to know what was happening and how, what was the public discourse, what's the information that they should know and how they should move. And so the Black press has always had a tremendous ability to mobilize its readers. And when we talk about Black people in voting, and you said, you get different information from the media, and it is confusing. And one thing I want to encourage people to understand is this country has never made it easy for Black people to vote. And one thing they did was told us we could not vote. And then when we got the right to vote, there were policies and laws that states and counties were allowed to put in place to hinder our vote. And socially, we had terrorism when it came to trying to vote, with members of the Klan at voting stations, daring people with guns, daring them to come into the polls, poll workers who refused to take Black people's ballots. And so it's been a difficult thing to exercise our right to vote, but they did it in spite of. And they voted when it was a life or death situation. Today, we've got a younger generation that may be apathetic because they see a country that often is responsible or who's often hypocritical. And so we see a country that's saying one thing and then they're doing another. And so it's really imperative on our generations and the older generations who are in the know to enlighten them about how you don't let apathy win. You don't let those tricks win. And we teach them about the history, teach them about how voting does change things, and we take them to the polls.